Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Even when you were completely alone? Emily had never been the paranoid type. Living alone in her small apartment, she enjoyed her independence. She worked from home as a freelance writer, often staying up late into the early hours of the morning. It was a quiet life, peaceful. Until one night, something changed. That night, Emily was working on a deadline. The only sounds were the clicking of her keyboard and the occasional rumble of thunder outside. It wasn't until 2:47 a.m. that she heard it. At first she thought she imagined it. Who would be knocking at this hour? She glanced at her phone. No missed calls, no messages, just silence. The hallway was empty, but when she looked at the camera footage, her stomach dropped. A chill ran down her spine. Maybe it was a neighbor, a prank. But something about the way the figure just stood there unsettled her. Her breath caught in her throat. She didn't respond. Instead, she blocked the number and double-checked the locks on her door. Maybe she was just imagining things. Maybe it was some late-night drunk at the wrong door. That's what she told herself. But deep down, she knew something wasn't right. The clock on her laptop now reads 3:12 a.m. She stares blankly at the screen, unable to concentrate. She tried to shake it off, but the unease wouldn't go away. Then, just as she was about to shut her laptop and call it a night, a sudden, eerie silence, like the world is holding its breath. A faint sound, something barely audible, like a whisper. Emily. Her name, someone whispered her name. Emily freezes. She slowly turns her head toward the door. The peephole was dark. Someone was standing on the other side. Her hands tremble as she reaches for her phone. She dials 911. The sound of the dial tone, ringing once, twice. The operator's voice, faint and distorted. 911, what's your emergency? Emily, whispering and panicked, says, "There's someone outside my apartment. I think they've been here for almost an hour." The operator replies, "Stay on the line. Officers are on their way." Relief washed over her. Help was coming. But then, something happened that made her stomach drop. The distorted figure on the security camera feed slowly tilts its head, as if it heard her. The thing outside her door knew she had called for help. The figure suddenly vanishes from the camera feed. Silence. Then, the sound of shuffling from inside the apartment. The blood drained from her face. The door was still locked. No one had come in. But she could hear footsteps inside her apartment. Emily clutches the phone, backing into the corner of her room. The operator's voice says, "Stay calm, Mum. Officers are arriving in 5 minutes." 5 minutes felt like an eternity. The sound of footsteps stops. Emily looks toward her bedroom closet. The closet door creaks open. Just an inch. She wasn't alone. Emily holds her breath, gripping the lamp from her desk as a weapon. Tense music builds up. The police sirens wail outside. Red and blue lights flash through the window. A loud bang on the apartment door. An officer's muffled voice. "This is the police. Open up." The moment she heard their voices, she ran for the door and flung it open. 2 officers rush in, guns drawn. They sweep the apartment. But here's the thing. They found no one. The closet door is wide open now, empty, just darkness inside. An officer asks, "Are you sure you saw someone?" Emily didn't know what to say. She knew she wasn't imagining it. She heard the footsteps. She saw the figure. But there was no sign of forced entry. Nothing on the security cameras except static. The next morning, Emily is packing a suitcase, shaking. She decided to leave. That apartment wasn't safe anymore. As she's about to walk out the door, her phone buzzes one last time. A text message from an unknown number. "See you tonight." Music fades to silence. Screen goes black. Emily never went back. But sometimes late at night, she still gets those messages. Final shot of her phone screen. New message. I found you. End screen fades in. Subscribe for more stories.